They threw me out with $20. Now they want everything back. The day my parents kicked me out, they handed me a wrinkled $20 bill, tossed my clothes into a black trash bag, and told me not to come back. I was 19. I remember standing on the front porch, staring at the closed front door, wondering if this was some kind of sick joke. It wasn't. 5 years later, the same people who said I'd never amount to anything were standing on my doorstep, asking for my help. Growing up, my younger brother Tyler was always the favorite. If he failed a test, my parents said he tried his best. If I earned straight A's, they told me that was simply expected. When he crashed my mom's car, they paid for everything. When my laptop died during college, my dad laughed and told me to figure it out. So I worked 2 jobs while attending community college. I believed hard work would finally earn their respect. Instead, one Friday evening, my parents sat me down and told me I had 30 minutes to leave. Tyler smirked as my father called me a freeloader, even though I paid my own bills and helped with utilities. My mother silently handed me $20. My father opened the front door and wished me luck. That night, I slept in my car in the grocery store parking lot where I worked. It was freezing. I questioned everything, but I made one promise. I would stop chasing their approval and build a life for myself. For months, I worked every shift I could find, delivered pizzas at night, showered at a gym, and studied whenever I had time. My manager eventually learned the truth and introduced me to a landlord who rented me a tiny apartment I could afford. Life slowly changed. I graduated with honors, transferred to a university, landed an internship at a software company, and eventually built a successful career. 5 years passed without a single birthday call or holiday message from my parents. Then, one day, my phone rang. It was my mother. She said they wanted to see me. Something felt wrong. When I arrived at my childhood home, I noticed a foreclosure notice taped to the front window. Inside, everyone acted as if nothing had happened. After a few awkward minutes, my father admitted they were losing the house. Then came the real reason for the visit. They wanted money. I asked one question I'd carried for 5 years. Why did you really kick me out? Silence filled the room. Finally, my father admitted they needed money back then to support Tyler's dream business. They believed I was strong enough to survive on my own, so they sacrificed me for the child they wanted to protect. Hearing those words hurt more than being kicked out. I reminded them that I had slept in my car, skipped meals, worked 2 jobs, and waited years for a phone call that never came. Tyler apologized, but admitted he had benefited from everything. Then my father quietly asked if I would save their house. I reached into my wallet, pulled out a $20 bill, and placed it on the table. "Here," I said. They looked confused. "It's the same amount you gave me when you threw me out. You told me to figure it out because I was an adult. I did. Now it's your turn." I walked toward the door. "I don't hate you," I said, "but I don't owe you the future you took away from me." Weeks later, my mother sent a sincere apology. I forgave them for my own peace, but I chose not to become their financial safety net. Instead, I donated money to a youth shelter that helps teenagers who have been kicked out of their homes. Sometimes, karma isn't revenge. Sometimes, it's refusing to become the person who hurt you and building a life that no longer depends on their approval. If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, subscribe to Karma Stories, and comment below telling me what you would have done in this situation. Your support really helps the channel grow.